Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. We are an hour early. I have a special Zoom meeting tonight with the Discord guys, Ben and them. We're going to be going over some stocks for the January effect to see what's going to be popping in the next month or so. So that's going to be a benefit for you guys. But let's go through the market, see what's going on, talk about a few things, and see what we're going to be getting into this week. So here we go. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. How is everybody this evening? And let's go ahead, look at that heat map. That's how it did close there. NVIDIA was a little red. Apple was a little red. Google, Meta, Microsoft up some. And we'll take a look and see what's going on there, Joseph Levy. I hope everybody had a great weekend already. Sunday evening already flying through. And we're almost at Christmas, guys. What is it, 18 days now? Holy cow, it's kind of crazy. But anyway, I think it's 18, something like that. Whatever it is, it's getting close. Let's put it that way. It's got to be 18. Today's the 7th. So good evening, Luis Rodriguez. I was up near you, your neck of the woods. You did a run this morning. I hope you're feeling better after that. And yeah, I was at a jiu-jitsu tournament today, a competition. It was awesome. I'd never been to one of them, but I really enjoyed it. Honestly, I loved watched like 2 hours of matches. I was thoroughly loving every minute of it. And then my daughter won the gold, so that was awesome. So yeah, she went out there and just tore it up. It was amazing to see, and it was her first competition ever. And so yeah, definitely very proud of her, and she did an amazing job. I'll tell you that. And it was really cool to watch everybody out there. So yeah, she got a huge gold medal and stuff. It was really really cool. So definitely a fun day, I must say. So we were up near you, Luis Rodriguez, having a good old time up there watching that. But yeah, what, 17 days, 5 hours till Christmas, Joseph Levy. How crazy is that, guys? So anyway, let's go through the market because we're just gonna hop on here for an hour. And I'm going to hop off right around 8 p.m. so I can hop on the Zoom call with the rest of the guys from the Story Trading Discord, Godfather Ben, Laptop Travel, and everybody else. Holy cows, right, Luis Rodriguez, 17 days and 5 hours till Christmas. So it's pretty wild right there. Santa Claus will be coming down your chimney and dropping presents off, and we'll all be doing our Christmas thing real soon. So, and then Christmas Eve, I mean, that's even closer and then everybody goes out for that. So let's get rocking and rolling and see what's going on. What we can look at in an hour or so and see what's going on tomorrow. So that's what your heat map looked like. Let's look at our SPY Mag 7s and all them guys real quick. I didn't really make a note just because I really didn't have time, and I have the one from Friday sitting in front of me, and it's probably good enough right there. So we'll just cruise through a bunch of that stuff, see what you guys want to see real quick, and then we'll get cruising through our night. NFL games were on all day. Honestly, just kind of looked at the scores just a little bit ago. I was so occupied with jiu-jitsu, I forgot it was kind of Sunday, to be honest with you. And then I was like, holy cow, all the football games are on. But the Bears and Packers are tied right now in the fourth quarter. Rams are killing the Cardinals 45-17, and then a bunch of other games are in the finals. So, and then there's obviously a game on this evening, which will be the Texans at the Chiefs at 8:20. So we'll be watching that one. And like I said, I'll be in a Zoom meeting, and we will check us out. And I'll be on tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. for the pre-market, that's for sure. Laptop Travel's not able to make this one. He's working on some research, construction, and all that, but no big deal right there. And you'll be in the 8 p.m. Discord meeting. There you go. So no problem, Laptop Travel. Like I said, we're just rolling through for like an hour here real quick, and then I'll see you at 8 p.m. So let's get cruising. You get back to your construction. Laptop Travel has a ton of stuff going on. It's like his busiest time of his year for all of his clients. And then his house got destroyed. So you're over there trying to oversee that getting rebuilt and all kinds of other stuff. He's a working dude, I must say, Laptop Travel. So anyway, here's our SPY. It did close up there. It was running up. It was looking pretty good. I'll remind you what it looked like. Remember, it ran up pretty well, pulled back some, and then kind of flattened out there on Friday. But it did have that nice run up in the morning. The Qs did it similar too, and they did run up. And I was in them. I sold them there, and then they did run up a little higher. No big deal. But then it kind of flattened out, went up a little bit. So nothing real crazy right there. And we'll look at our IWM too. And this one right there did basically the similar thing, and then came back during the day, came up a little bit at the end of the day. So that's what they look like. The IWM did close down right there. Doesn't look bad. It's curling down, nothing real crazy. So let's take a look and just see what everything else is doing right here. You still have your curl up. Could it pull back a day or so tomorrow? It could, but honestly, it's so hard to tell over a weekend. That's why it wasn't too big of a deal not to do a full show tonight, but I do like to go through everything and see what's going on. Stock futures are a little changed after Wall Street notches back-to-back winning weeks. The Fed meeting this week, and that's a big thing too. Our Fed meeting on Wednesday, and let's just take a look at it right here. There you go. We'll reload it. And where are we? 93%. I'd say 0.25%. Definitely tied in and coming our way. Now, is it already factored into the market? That's the thing if it's priced in. But the Fed meeting this week will determine if investors get new all-time highs or coal for Christmas. Well, everybody knows you're getting a 0.25 decrease. So I'm not sure why they would even. I guess that's an attention grabber because everybody knows it's already coming. How Netflix is $72 billion deal for Warner Brothers caught Wall Street off guard. OpenAI goes from stock market savior to burden as AI risks mount. And German foreign minister to discuss rare earths and steel in China visit. So that's interesting right there. And the overnight futures are flat, Luis Rodriguez. So there you go. Let's go ahead and look at our big ones right here. And I said we'll start with our Apple right here. See how Apple looks. It was down, and it almost looks like it wants to pull back a little bit, but it's sitting on that 20 going into a weekend and could bounce back. You had your 3 good days down, and now could pop back. That could be your bottom right there. So let's go through the rest of them, and obviously we'll be looking at them first thing in the morning. You guys know that. Amazon was pulling back a little bit. Looks like it could pull down. Look at the 20 right there. It's sitting between the 50. It's sitting right there. It's trying to get set up here, maybe in the next few days, maybe over this week. It will. We'll have to get a good idea tomorrow morning. Google was running up. I kind of feel like Google wants to roll back up into the top right here and blast back off, guys. Look at it. It looks like it wants to roll off that MACD and get cruising right there. So definitely keep an eye on that. And let's see what Meta is up to, and that was cruising along, hitting the 50. So we'll have to see how it opens. If it can cross through that 50, because look at it crawling up right there, it could definitely get cruising up to that's 737, which is kind of crazy because they're at 671. So Meta could definitely move some more. And another one, we just have to see how these guys open tomorrow. And Microsoft is getting set up. I could say that right there. I would say you're keeping an eye on Microsoft this week. That looks really good right there. And then your NVIDIA is trying to get set up as well. It was down on Friday. And obviously, we'll see what it's doing tomorrow morning. But you can see it started to run back up a little bit right at the end of the day there. And we'll see. I mean, look at this thing curling up. It wants to go through, and it wants to jump up and go up. So I do have some options on the video. You guys know that. And Tesla was up a little bit, jumping around. It did jump up in the morning and then pull back a little bit. It did close green. So that was your Mag 7 right there. And keep an eye on IRBT. That's that iRobot. And that was jumping up. I know Laptop Travel would mention this thing, and it still looks pretty good. One of you guys had mentioned it. I forget. I think it was Laptop Travel. Didn't you do a whole article on this thing, Laptop Travel, if I remember correctly? IRBT. And yeah, definitely looking pretty good right there. I'll give you that. And let's see, what is that other, the rest of this list looking like AMC just pulling back a little bit. GameStop right here was still going up, but has that weird look. So we'll see. I told you guys I sold my options. I'll see what it looks like this week if it still looks good. And I don't really like it because I had earnings coming up on Tuesday. It was the 9th. So we'll be keeping an eye on GameStop, especially around earnings. Maybe it gets really set up and it wants to pop. But again, it was up huge. And that was my GameStop. And let's see what else is going on here with our Chewy and Unity. Chewy was up a little bit, still down there trying to get set up, rolling off the MACD. Unity been looking good. And I think Unity could run there. So definitely be keeping an eye on the letter U right there for good old Unity. Netflix, good pullback. Look at that. See if we get this thing under 100. You could have. It was at 97. I know that. I saw it under 100 right there. And I think you could be getting to your bottom. So we'll be keeping an eye on Netflix also, and FLX, and that's a nice dip after the split and everything else. And let's see what else is going on with AVGO and our semiconductors, because that was rolling up right there. And look at it, guys. It looks like it wants to roll tomorrow, so you might want to keep an eye on AVGO tomorrow. Let's take a better look at it right here. Here you go. And I would say it looks really good going into tomorrow, so definitely want to look at that one. MU wasn't looking too bad either. either. It was hitting some resistance, but it definitely was getting set up right there. So we will be keeping an eye on MU as well. I think you can add that one to your list of setups or even ones to look at tomorrow is MU right there. Micron Technology definitely getting set up. And let's look at our TSM. And let's see. That one was hitting a little resistance, but not looking too bad as it's trying to crawl up. We'll be keeping an eye on that. This next one's been setting up SMCI, and it is looking pretty good right there. It's hitting the 20, but I have a feeling you're going to continue to get it moving right there on SMCI. So we want to be watching that one this week. That's for sure for the semiconductors. And that's a computer hardware one. I always consider it a semiconductor. AMD right here. That's a semiconductor. And this one's also getting set up. So I know that one is. I told you I had the AMDL calls. And AMD looking pretty good right there. How about your QCOM? And that has been setting up a little bit flat right there. So we'll have to see what it wants to do. And snow had been coming down, and we'll see if it wants to come down a little bit more. Maybe it'll become a blizzard down there with snow. And PayPal right here, not looking too bad as it's running up there, crawling up, hitting the 20, and it could jump up in between this channel right here and get cruising for PayPal. So that's what we'll be watching for that one right there. So I'll be keeping an eye on PayPal. I do like that one. Could be a good one going forward towards the end of the year as well right there. For PYPL and Intel right here was running up a little bit. It had been running up for the last few days. Hit a little resistance right there, and we'll see what it wants to do tomorrow. It could continue to go up right now. And Dell right there, not in a bad spot in that channel right there. Could run up into that 50. It looks like it was going up at 5 cents. Nothing crazy, but could get into the 140s right there for DELL. Good old Dell. And IBM is not looking bad either right here. So look at this look right there, guys. I mean, that thing wants to curl through and get running. Your 20s underneath. You have your trend line going up. IBM setting up. It's going to get running as well. So I think IBM might be a good one to keep an eye on going forward this week. And let's see what Palantir, that was running up. Sophie had been pulling back. Palantir looks really good. That one could run up some more tomorrow right there. And what about Sophie? I don't know what I just typed in, but that's Sophie pulling back after that offering. And honestly, guys, that almost looks like it bottomed out real quick off of that offering. I don't know, though. We'll see if it really wants to bounce off that MACD. Maybe it pulls back down here to that 25 and you get a way better area right there for SOFI. Good old Sophie right there. And let's see what the rest of Mara and Riot, the crypto ones, are doing. And look at that. That was pulling back there. Mara hitting the 20. They had been looking really good. Just a little healthy pullback, to be honest with you. And let's see what Riot's up to right here, because that was trying to stay over the 20. And let's see if it can maintain itself. We'll obviously go through crypto, see what it looks like. Solana's at 132 and Bitcoin's at 90, but it was at 89. So I guess 90 is not so bad. Ripple's at 204 right now. Cardano's at 41. And Ethereum's at 3,054, it looks like, on the stock cube. So that's what they look like at the moment. That's what Riot looks like. And like I said, it's trying to hold itself up on the 20. And let's see what CleanSpark's going to do right here, because it ran up pretty good on the earnings, but now it's pulling back. So we'll have to see what CleanSpark's up to this week. And like I said, crypto not looking too bad. Let's just check it out right there. Like I said, Bitcoin's at 90. It's been at 89 most of the weekend for the most part, and it's still sitting there not too bad. So I would say Bitcoin not looking so bad at the moment. How about Ethereum? That's still trying to hang out too. So I think you might try to get curled up again tomorrow. Solana's been the one trying to dragging along right here. Look at it. Solana usually looks pretty good, and it's kind of dragging along, but maybe that's bottoming out right there. So we'll see what's up with Solana. And Ripple right here looks the same as Solana, be honest with you, coming off that MACD, and probably should bounce. Looks like it wants to. So Doge, that one's pulling back a little bit and almost looks like them, Solana and Ripple right there. So that's kind of interesting as well. Cardano right here, not so bad, but has that same look. So they all have that kind of similar look. To be completely honest with you, we'll see how they play out in the morning, because they'll be changing around, and we'll see what's going on with these guys. So there you go. And here's Optimism right here. Let's just see what it looks like. And yeah, they look like they're kind of making a base. This one does. A lot of them 20s coming down. So I do think you're going to start moving up. And again, look at Bitcoin. It's staying in that bullish trend, guys. So this is what we wanted to see. Remember, I said we'll probably run it right off of. You could still touch bottoms. It's not really that accurate, but I figured it would run right off of this line right here. Will probably be your bottom for whatever reason, and then they'll just keep on going. So you'll get up here, and then it'll just keep going, guys. I'm telling you, it's gonna slowly get up. You might see some really big ones coming up real soon, though. I'm telling you. And I said that before. Right now, it's just kind of get going. You saw the big one get it back up over to 20, and now they're just going to get rolling back up. They look pretty good for Bitcoin, and that'll definitely pull up the rest of them. So that's what they look like. Let's look at BMNR right here. It was pulled back a little bit. I had jumped out of that option as well. Maybe we'll jump back into one tomorrow, depending on what they all look like. But I was locking in them profits. You just never know going over the weekend and how crypto runs. You just don't know what that thing's going to do right there. So that's BMNR. And let's see what SBET is up to right here, because I was pulling back a little bit as well right there. And nothing crazy. Like I said, it's ran up, pulled back a little on Friday. So that one's not looking bad. UPXI. How'd I get over here? I was trying to do the other ones. I was looking at crypto. Let's look at these anyway, because these are a good one to look at. UPXI kind of pulling back still, but as soon as Solana starts moving back up, and again, Solana's been struggling right there. So as soon as that one starts running back up, it'll look way better. ORBS right here. This one's trying to make a base. We know that. And let's just take a quick look at FGNX right here. And that's the FGNX. This looks like it dipped down and then jumped back up with a blue screen right there. So let me just see what it looks like, because it looks like it just went down and then gained its losses back. I can't even tell. We'll look at it in the morning and see what's going on with FG Nexus right there. Let's take a look at the rest of these, like MicroStrategy and Hood and them. Strategy was coming down. I still don't think it's coming back down to that. I think that was your bottom right there at that 155. You're at that 178, and I do think you're going to get kind of bullish on this, so you'll start moving back up with Strategy, and that's MSTR and Robinhood right here. That's down a little bit, and obviously crypto's kind of pulling back. These guys were pulling back as well. Coinbase right there, and even Bull was trying to get set up. It had tried to run, but then it was just bouncing around. It could be a good one tomorrow. If crypto's getting set up, things are looking good. Bull will get rocking and rolling too. You know, we're all about Bull. And Space right here has been running up and looking good. Just a little healthy pullback. We'll see what Space wants to do tomorrow. Then you have your Boeing right here. Not too bad. It had jumped up the other day. DJT's been trying to set up, but it was pulling back there on Friday. And look at that. That's a pretty good pullback look. So obviously have to look at it tomorrow. It could easily bounce back around and turn right back around tomorrow and just get popping if it really wanted to get back bullish. We know over the weekend you can't always trust them. And that look right there, you could tell it could turn around with no problem. Nike right here, not looking too bad. And Lulu was running up and still looking pretty good. So you might want to keep an eye on that Lulu. We were super early on that one, that's for sure. And McDonald's right here had been running up some more, not looking too bad after that pullback, ran right back up like it was no big deal. Your Disney was down a little. Luis Rodriguez can't get a good idea of what this wants to do. I think it's just trying to get set up here. Maybe you get a little pullback into the 103s, but I think he tries to get back into this channel. Maybe not that aggressive, but it might try to do it. Oxy right here down a little bit, OXY, and that's actually getting set up, looking pretty good right there. Oil and gas, ExxonMobil, and that one wasn't looking so bad the other day as it came back down to the trend line. And look at it, was trying to curl up right there, curling down on your MACD. We'll look at that tomorrow as well. DXYZ is running up the last few days. It ran up on Friday, I know that, but then it looks like it pulled back there. I didn't notice, but I know it was up because I saw that bad boy, and I've been watching this thing. So there you go. It was running up right there, going into the market opening, and a little pullback flattened out right there for DXYZ. That's a good one. Destiny Tech 100. Isn't that how you get in the SpaceX, Luis Rodriguez? I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they have like a private position in SpaceX or something like that. Something like that. And anyway, there you go for them ones. Here's a couple other good ones I noticed. Snap right here. Good old Snap. What is it? What's it? Snapchat. Is that what it's called? I can't even think of it. I think it's Snapchat. That's what it's called, right? Snapchat. Anyway, SNAP. Looking pretty good right there. IREN. that was pulling back. But look at this thing trying to curl up right here. Not looking too bad for IREN. I mean, it was trying to bottom out there. I think this week, look at this thing trying to get curled up. I'd keep an eye on that this week. I know I have that on my list. And this one, Oklo, or whatever the heck it's called, OKLO, nice little pullback. It had been running up, but that could be a little healthy pullback right there on Friday and could continue to run up. So a couple other ones just to keep on your list. And this Ruby right here did recently split, so you might want to keep an eye on it because look at it. It's way down there. It looks like it's trying to get set up. So keep your eye on RUBI because I'll be watching that one as well. Your SMX right here went bonkers last week, and it's at 330. It looks like it might still run, guys. So I don't think Laptop Travel is on here, but I'll tell them when I talk to him at 8 p.m. to keep an eye on this in the morning, guys. Keep an eye on this. This could continue to run around pretty wildly. So that is your SMX right there. And let's see what else is going on, what you guys want to look at real quick. And I can't believe it's only 17 days left until in like 5 or 6 hours or whatever till Christmas, guys. How crazy is that? So by next weekend it's going to be like, all right, well, Christmas is here, that's for sure. It's going to feel like it anyway, even though it's only going to be like what, the 12th or the 13th and 14th, but that's pretty close right there. So, and then the next week will be that's so crazy, guys. So anyway, Christmas, hope you're getting all that wrapped up and taken care of. And let's see what else is going on over here. What you guys are looking at, TGL, this Treasure Global is running up pretty huge in the after hours the other day on Friday. I did see that one. Remember that reverse split? We were just talking about it. Remember, we have to find all the reverse splits. Someone find all them things and send them over. The ones that are in the basement, guys, look at these. That's the second one that's did it. SMX was the same exact thing, guys. No lies, SMX. Oh, it did it. It kind of it split back there and never really got moving. It was in the basement. Once it came out, it went bonkers too. So there you go. We'll have to keep an eye on all these bad boys. That's for sure. That's SMX. And let's see what else was on there. I don't even know what. I lost that list. MTVA. Let's see what that's doing. I know we've looked at that to Metavia. That's it. Oh, that's another splitter right there that did it. Holy cow. Yeah, we got to find these splits, guys, because these things are just running. This happens sometimes where these things just start splitting. The splitters always run. And TWG right here, that Top Wealth Group, that one went pretty bonkers too, huh? That's a Hong Kong one. We've watched this one a bunch of times, and that looks pretty good for tomorrow. So you might want to keep an eye on that TWG right there. That does look pretty good to keep a little momentum. And let's see what else is going on. That big bear we were talking about the other day, I was saying that was trying to get set up here. I keep an eye on that. That does look like it's getting set up this week. So BBAI, another one trying to get set up there, trying to get cruising back up. That's for sure. AIP, this one was running up the other day. That looks like it could keep some momentum right there. AIP looking pretty good. I know they talk about that in the Discord. And CIGL right here is Concord International. I don't even know what that is, Luis Rodriguez, but it does look pretty good right there. I must say it went up and it might have went down. I'm not even sure what the heck it did right there. CIGL bouncing around, still looking pretty good to me. I'm going to jot that down there tomorrow. CIGL. I have to check that thing out. That does look pretty good. Let's see what else is going on right there. Galt and Buru for Joseph Levy. Let's see what they're up to. Galt was like ran up real fast the other day, and then it did pull back. I don't know what the heck this thing did. That was pretty crazy, Joseph Levy. Look at that thing. Started off really well, and then it didn't start off, and then it didn't end so well. I don't know why, but some of the market did pull back. Let's get a better look because it looks like it was trying to go right through that MACD. It even had that bounce up look early in the morning, looked pretty good to get through the resistance. And now all of a sudden looks like it wants to pull back, but I can't promise you that, being that it's a weekend. It could turn right back around on that 20 right there. And that could just be one of them weird candles. We've seen them before and they try to run up. We'll have to get a good idea tomorrow. It does look like it's trying to pull back there, though, Joseph Levy. So it did turn around pretty quick. It ran up and then just started to pull back like crazy. I didn't know what was going on right there. I know you had mentioned it in the Discord, too, because I was checking it out. Buru was running up early, too, right here, and then did pull back as well. I know it was running up there. It was at 22 or 25 or something, and it came back down to 22. It's at 23 and a half right there. So That is Nubaru sitting on the 20. Almost looks like a little healthy pullback right there, Joseph Levy. So we'll keep an eye on Nubaru and Galt. Actually, I'll write them down over here so I can take a look at them tomorrow morning, and we can get a good idea what they want to do right there for you. So that is your Nubaru or your Galt and your Buru right there, which is Nubaru. And let's see what else is going on over here. Futures are flat overnight. IRBT looking pretty good. Lemonade and Path. Well, Path was going nuts. That one, the Godfather had mentioned this, and it looks like that one could continue tomorrow. So you might want to keep an eye on that PATH right there. And what was the other Lemonade right here? This one's been getting crazy too. And look at that thing. Holy cow, it's an insurance company. We've talked about it before. LMND. And look at that. Right back into the 80s almost. And looking pretty good. Looks like it wants to run up even higher right there, Luis Rodriguez. So there you go for your LMND. And let's see. CRML is critical metal. That was looking pretty good. That's setting up right there. That's for sure. And I do like this UAMY right now. That one is trying to get set up, looking pretty decent. Probably I would check out this thing tomorrow. CRML definitely looking pretty decent as well. But I like that UAMY and USAR also getting set back up. Look at these things running back up, trying to catch some momentum. And they jump up and then they do pull back. So if you have them, you're either long trading them or you're a quick swing trading them on the quick pops right there and hopping out and repositioning yourself. They do jump around a whole lot, but this doesn't look bad right there for USAR. And we'll be watching that good old Wheeler right here, WHLR. And that one was up 3-7. Another one that reverse split and got nutty right out of the basement. Boom. Look at that thing. Holy cow. We got to find all the reverse splits. And look at this thing. I mean, it's not like you could have had this thing before. You have to catch this at the right time. It runs up like 100%, of course, but you can't get in it too early. You got to be on it at the right time or you'll get crushed on it. Because if you're up here, you're so diluted that you're just not getting your money back. That's for sure. I mean, these people, they just got lucky. You don't see that very often. So, yeah, maybe a couple of them got lucky here and it's still up, but we'll keep an eye on that Wheeler right there. Wheeler Real Estate. And yeah, it did do a reverse split and got cruising. Pfizer right here. That was up a little bit, hitting a little resistance. That's not looking too bad for PFE. And I could see that one trying to get cruising up a little bit more. Let's take a look and see what Oscar's up to. Down a little bit, just in that like Pac-Man look of a channel. And UNH, that was down a little bit, and that one's definitely getting set up right there. So I think UNH is going to be a pretty good setup. Could have a little pullback, obviously, but that one is going to be looking pretty good relatively soon. Ulta Beauty right here was going nutty off them earnings. We did see that the other day, and it did go blasting off. Let's just see what it looks like right here. ULTA. And yeah, look at that. It looks like it wants to run up some more, so you can keep an eye on Ulta right there. For tomorrow, you could get a little momentum on that one. I mean, look at it. It's crawling up 20 to 50, running up, look pretty good. We'll have to see after a weekend, but doesn't look bad for ULTA. And how about Moderna right here? And that was running up a little bit, hitting a little resistance. So we'll have to see what it looks like in the morning. But there you go with your Pfizer, Moderna, and even Ulta Beauty. So end up with Pfizer or Moderna, you'll end up needing Ulta Beauty, I think. I'm just kidding. But anyway, there you go at that list right there, Luis Rodriguez. And ASST is heading lower. That one I'd get beat down. It was trying to set up there, and now it's in the 90s. And it does look like it's heading down a little bit more. And let's see what's Open Door. That was pulling back. I mean, that has some good support right there, but I could see it getting down here for some reason. And only say that because it is one of these weird, like pumped up ones, and people are into it. And look at that chart, and that chart especially too, looking like it wants to come down. So just be careful with Open Door as well. I've told you all about that one. How are you, Michael Anthony? You like 7:00 evening, so on Sunday nights I had to jump on a little early because I have a meeting at 8 p.m. on a Zoom call. And I just got in from a jiu-jitsu tournament, so that was a lot of fun today. And my daughter won gold, so that was awesome as well. Her first jiu-jitsu competition ever, she wins gold, so that was really cool. But let's check out your D low right here. We'll keep it on the D low for your D local. And let's see, it was spiking up there Friday and then a little bit of pullback to the 20. Let me get a better look at D low and see what it's up to. I think you're just going to stay in this little channel right here, Michael Anthony, between your 50 and 20 right there. And it'll just jump around as it gets set up. Your 20 is going to start getting curled up. Your 50 is just going to kind of slowly get there, and then your 20 is going to curl up towards it. So we'll see what happens with that. If anything real crazy, it just is slowly running up right now for D low. So we'll have to watch that. You like the Friday highs off the highs, that with strong buy of 19, that fundamentals and chart looks good for upside. Michael Anthony said it's at 1338 right there. So Michael Anthony loves this thing. D local, he's saying it's getting up here, and that's even, it'll get even higher than that. So, and I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest with you. It is going to curl off to 20. I don't know if it's going to happen overnight, but it will get cruising up and working its way up there. Michael Anthony and ADBE right here is good old Adobe, and that one could keep some good momentum. They have earnings coming up December 10th, so that is going to be coming up on Wednesday, it looks like. So keep an eye on Adobe, but that could have some good momentum in the morning, guys. So you might want to keep an eye on that one right there. And let's see, Sophie could be a great one to buy on the dip on the offering. I agree with you on that one right there, Michael Anthony. I can't disagree with that Sophie buy on that dip. And again, just see, it's coming down to the MACD. Doesn't look great. You could get down into the 25s right there, Michael Anthony, on that trend line right there, or even possibly down there in the lower 25. So we'll see what it looks like in the morning at 7 a.m. We'll definitely go over Sophie and see what that wants to do. Oscar's in New Jersey. You're switching to him. Wow, Luis Rodriguez. I had no idea. Oscar Health. And there we are. Their healthcare plans. I'll have to look into it, huh? Good old Oscar Health. I have pretty good health care. My wife's a teacher, so I'm pretty good right there. Anyway, but that's interesting. I never even knew that. I'd never even heard of them before, Oscar Health, until we started looking at the stock ticker. It's likely investors purchasing at the lower split price to boost their share count. So Sophie announced the dreaded offering. That's why it was down, Luis Rodriguez. It certainly was. They did have an offering. What was it, Thursday or something? Or was it Friday? I forget what day it was, to be completely honest with you. I think it was over here. I don't know which day it was. One of these days, they had a stupid offering, $1.5 billion stock offering, December 4th. So there you go. I'm pretty sure that's when it was. I don't really remember exactly, but I think it was Thursday at the end of the day, wasn't it? And I could tell by the chart, probably SOFI. And yeah, I'd say so. But yeah, because then it happened on, I know on checking out this one, it dipped down right there and then it pulled back a little bit more. So yeah, that's when they announced the offering right there. So there you go with all them. And BLND, what is Blend doing right here? BLND, Blend Labs, and that one pulling back a little bit, but looking good. Look at that channel right there. That looks like some healthy pullback as well. I think the markets are going to start off pretty good tomorrow. That thing's interesting, Luis Rodriguez. I'll have to keep an eye on BLND right there. Not familiar with Blend Labs, but not looking bad either. So we'll check that out, BLND, and let's see what else is going on. I think I just got to everything over there. Let me know if you guys want to see anything else. We did our crypto also, and let's see, we did our news right here. And again, our rate cut is it's going to be 0.25. I did say before the government shutdown, if they shut down the government, we'd have 0.25 going into the new year all across the board, without a doubt in my mind. And look at that, guys. I mean, that's not jumping off a cliff at this point. It's on Wednesday. I mean, it could, but your chance, it doesn't have to look like it. Really, this thing really has to get curled up to try to look like that. We'll see tomorrow. I won't rule anything out ever, but it doesn't have that look right there. January. Let's see. It says no change, 67%. It's just cruising up there. I wouldn't doubt if they don't have a cut in January. But then look at that March right there. That one looks like it's dipping down a little bit. They're just bouncing back and forth, running in because they have so much time. And April, forget about it. I mean, who the hell knows what that's going to do? But we'll focus on December 10th. And right as of now, you have a 93% chance that we're getting a 0.25 decrease right there. So there you are, Michael Anthony, and that's what the poly market tells us. And CNP, what is that? What does that say? C or CNP? CNP. I don't even know what either of them are. Center Point Energy. Not sure what that is, but it looks like it's making a nice base down here. That's all I know with that. CNP. And yeah, I don't. I mean, it could pull back a little bit more. It's just kind of bouncing around down there. What was CMP? What was that? Compass Minerals. That looked pretty good actually. And you should write CMP real quick, Michael Anthony. Just say it was a typo. I won't tell anybody because CMP looks a lot better at the moment anyway. So just act like you made a misspelling. I could tell you, Michael Anthony, you probably hit the N and not the M right there for Compass Minerals because that does look pretty good going into its earnings, and their earnings are tomorrow, so that'll be interesting right there. And then your CNP, we'll have to keep an eye on this bad boy. How's that? Because I don't know about it just yet. I mean, I'm not saying it's not going to get set up right here, but I'm just saying it doesn't look great yet. Let's put it that way. So there you go. I'd rather see that look than, oh, sorry, guys. I'd rather see that look than that look right there. Okay. You got 20s coming down, the other one's curling up. So just giving you a quick heads up, Michael Anthony. I know it was a misspelling right there. So there you go. We'll come back to CMP when it looks a little bit better. That's for sure. And SNDK. Let's see what that's doing right here. Hoover, that has lots of insider buying. We'll go check that out. HOVR. This SanDisk has been looking pretty good. I noticed this. Not noticed it. I think you guys somebody mentioned it. Was it you, Luis Rodriguez? Somebody had been mentioning this thing, but it's been also setting up right here for SNDK. I know we had looked at it before. It does look pretty good right there. And let's see a couple more of these guys. DBRG. What's one? What the heck is that? Isn't that I have no idea. Hold on, I can't even spell it. First off, Digital Bridge, that was way up. I knew I seen this thing. I'm not familiar with it, but this was like way up there on Friday. I do remember seeing that now. And Hover right here, New Horizon aircraft or something. It is an aerospace and defense. We're familiar with this. HOVR. And let's see, it's just hovering up there in between that 20 for HOVR. Is that what it's called? Hover, maybe New Horizon aircraft, hover, and the hover, whatever you want to call it. Just hanging in that channel right there, Michael Anthony. RYN, that is Rayonier. And I don't even know what Rayonier is. I know what RYM is, but Rayonier not looking too bad. That actually looks pretty good right there. So there you go with that. RYN. Yeah, I'd say keep an eye on that for a little momentum play right there. RYN. I'm not sure what the heck they do. I've never even seen it before. It's a RET. What the heck does that even mean? Is that like a real estate thing? I don't even know what that means, to be honest with you. But anyway, we do look at RYM. That's rhythm. And that is a Jolie's jam right here. And let's see, that one's crossed through, just kind of hanging out, waiting for the 20 to come down to pick it back up. So nothing real crazy right there. And let's see what else is going on around here on these markets and things of that nature. Let me take a look in here and see what happens when we look at PAVS, PAVS. It's way down there. SOXs, there you go. That's the semiconductor bear right there. And let's see, it's been pulling back. It looks like it almost wants to try to bottom out at this spot, but not. I can't promise you that. So we'll have to look at that SOX and SOXL. Warner Brothers up there because of the buyout. IRBT. We were just talking about it in the video. I was talking about Sophie. We were talking about INHD, guys. This one not looking bad right here. And let's take a look at this. That's at Eno Holdings. Did we look at this already? I'm not even sure. I don't remember, but it is trying to curl up right there. Not looking bad for a penny stock for INHD. So write that one on your list for tomorrow to keep an eye on. EWZ pulling back. There's your Netflix, Big Bear, ASST, and TDIC who's trying to crawl up there. There's your Intel and Beyond Meat right here, just kind of flat, not doing anything. I'd be careful on that one. Plug has been plugging away, not up on Friday, but it has been plugging away. This TZA, that's a small cap 3-timer right there. And that's an interesting look for a ETF. We've looked at it before. Wheeler ONDS right here. That had been running up the other day as well, pretty big. And let's see, it was just kind of bouncing around there on Friday. So we'll have to see what the old ONDS does right there. Netflix is looking good, Luis Rodriguez. I agree with that, especially at that 100 hours or under area. And SPY, VALE, pulling back. There's your Soxel right here. Let's take a look at that semiconductor bull. Has a weird look at the top. I can't get an idea of both of them right there. Figured I could tell on one of them. And would you say the beef prices are skyrocketing again? They certainly are. ABEV right here pulling back right now. And let's see, here's our futures right there. And where was that at? Here, let's just go right into there. And we can go right into our meats. And there's your live cattle. And it looks like it's going up. Remember when we were talking about these things and your feeder cattle? And your lean hogs are even going up. So there you go with that. And your metals over here, let's see, gold like a little bit flat right there. Silver as well, but it's running up into its all-time highs. Copper looks like pretty good demand for that thing. Palladium and platinum as well, so they're not too bad. And let's see what else is going on with your indices. That's what they look like at the moment. And your bonds, if you're a big bond market guy, these things have been pulling back there. I don't know what they're trying to do. They look like they want to bounce a little bit, but at the same time, they almost look like they want to stair step down. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. And if you're a bonds person right there. So there you go, Michael Anthony. And we were already talking about Top Wealth Group right here, TWG. And it is running up there in the after hours and overnight hours, or some hours right now. It's starting to run, but it does look pretty good with the 20 meeting up with the 50. I already said keep your eye on that for the morning. That's for sure. And Zeta right here, ZETA. Let me see what Zeta's doing. And that's not looking bad either right there. So there you go for ZETA. Let me take another look at it right here. I know we looked at this not long ago, and it would pull back. I remember it was running up, did pull back, and now it looks pretty good for ZETA, Michael Anthony. And that silver and gold, let's see, they weren't looking bad. Silver looks like it's trying to get into the top again, and if it does, it'll have to break through that resistance right there. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Here's your J-Nug right here. It was just bouncing around all over the place on Friday, and then you have your Nug doing the exact same thing as well. So there you go with them, REMX. And that thing was trying to cruise back up. Luis Rodriguez just in that little channel right there. So we'll let that get set up as well. And there you go. I would say that's a pretty healthy market review right there. And again, I'm just kind of cutting short this evening. There's going to be a bunch of great setups going into tomorrow. We have our ONDS. We were talking about that. ASTS, that one has been ripping up and looking pretty good right there. So you might want to keep an eye on that. We were all over Kodak, guys. You guys know that. And then you had your UMAC. That was pulling back a little bit, but not looking bad. Nuclear right here pulling back, but not looking bad either. And then you have your plug and a bunch of other ones not looking bad. And they're all running up there. And there's your LDI. Lowe's has been really strong. Look at that thing. I would say Lowe's is going to continue to go up, looking way better than Home Depot, although Home Depot trying to run back up right now. So there you go with a couple of them bad boys. And what is your FIG doing, Luis Rodriguez and Michael Anthony? It's just kind of hanging out after it ran up a few days. I don't think it looks real bad right there, that's for sure. So there you go with FIG. And then let's see what C1, how that closed. I don't even know, down 2 cents. This thing looks like it's trying to get that buyout. That's what we're waiting on for that thing. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. CWAN. What is BFH right here? And that's bread finance. That thing's been paying some bread. Didn't we say that on the show or something, that this thing would have been paying some bread? And it is. I mean, this thing, Bread Financial, has been paying out pretty well. And there you are with BFH. And let me just go through. I'll tell you if there's any good scores going on at the moment. And let's see what's happening here real quick in the NFL, because there was a bunch of games today. Looks like all the Sunday games are done, except for the Sunday night football, which is the Texans and the Chiefs. So you guys can check out the final scores. Don't look like any more are on at the moment right there. So there you go with that. Nothing to really check out. BFH, all new all-time highs right there. That Bread Financial, it's paying some bread, that's for sure. And so, yeah, I would say so. And there you go. So, yeah, I'm going to hop off, because we are going to go do a Zoom meeting with the Discord guys to get ready for the January effect. And I know Ben's going to put a video together to put out on the Discord for everybody that's in there. So there you go for that. And we will be on at 7 a.m. We usually do this show at 8 p.m., but tonight we did it at 7 p.m. just because I had to hop off and go on that Zoom call and check out some other stocks. So it's not like I'm hopping off not to look at stocks. I'm hopping on to look at more stock charts and more stocks. So there you go with that. And I will be on at 7 a.m. to go over to market. We'll see what's going on, see what's going to be popping, what looks good, and what we're going to have our opportunities to get into. And of course, I'll make the night note, get everything into the Discord for you guys. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out on X, shoot me a DM. I do respond to everybody. And the Giants had their bye week. It was their best week ever right there, Luis Rodriguez. They actually did really good this week because it was their bye. So they played excellent. So there you go with the Giants and their bye. I'd say they had a good week when they had a bye because every other week's been pretty much a disaster for them. That's for sure. And there you are with a little NFL update too. So there you go, everybody. Be sure to follow along on X, YouTube, Instagram, all that good stuff. Be sure to like the show on your way out of here. And again, I will be back on 7 a.m. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. Luis Rodriguez and Michael Anthony and Laptop Travel. I'll catch you in a few minutes as well. And everybody else hanging out, Doge Mom and 9, and our whole entire crew like Deep Soul Diving. And who else? Asian Joe Lee. Joseph Levy was on here. I know that. And a few other people like Robin and a couple other guys that always hang out, and gals that always hang out, obviously. So there you go, everybody. And again, we'll be on early in the morning at 7. I'm going to go hop on the Discord call or the Zoom call so we can look at some stocks going into the January effect. Ben seems to always do really well with that. So he wanted to get some feedback from all of us. And I thought it would be a lot of good stuff, and everybody's best time that they could do it was this evening at 8 o'clock. So I said, well, I'll just do an hour early, and there we go. So we went through the market. We saw what it looked like. Crypto not looking too bad. We'll end with that as well. And Bitcoin still over 90,000, Ethereum over 3,000, and Solana, like I said, is getting beaten down at 131. So, whoa, that's water just splashed in my face. That's the one that's kind of getting beat down at the moment. Your Ripple's at 204. Look at Doge at 13 cents. That's pretty cheap right there too. And Cardano at 41. So yeah, there you go with them guys. And we did check them out. We looked at our news stories. We looked at everything. So there you go, everybody. And check out that TGL SMX. Might still be popping in the morning. I'm not going to lie. So remember this Gore? We were looking at this thing. That thing ran way up there. That Gulf Resources. We were definitely looking at that. That Wheeler did do a reverse split. Did this Gore do a reverse split? It doesn't look like it did. No, it doesn't look like it, honestly. And there you go. So that one, Toro right there, that was running way up there as well, Toro Corp. So a couple other ones we had been looking at real recently, and they were running up there. So there you are, everybody. Be sure to hit the like button on the way out. Catch you guys at 7 a.m. Enjoy your evening right here. You can go watch the Sunday night football game and enjoy everything else. You just got a nice little market review right there going into tomorrow. Keep an eye on the overnight trading at 8 p.m. So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on that as well. And Luis Rodriguez. So keep us updated. If you see something, tweet it out to me, and I'll repost it out to everybody. And I'll keep you guys updated of what's going on going into the morning. But again, all eyes are on the Fed on Wednesday. And honestly, it's going to be a 0.25 decrease. I mean, you got a 93% chance on Poly Market, and we've been saying it the whole time. And I don't see these charts pulling back, like just jumping off a cliff. I don't think they want to. They don't look like it. We determined the times that they wanted to. I didn't even think these guys would cross right there, but that was another crazy time also. But hey, it happened and it's all good. But yeah, I think we do see that 0.25 decrease right there on Wednesday. And the thing is it already priced in because everybody already knows because the Poly market's at 93%. So who doesn't know that it's not going to be a 0.25 decrease unless Pal has like an aneurysm while he's up there doing his announcement. So I don't see how it can't be. According to Polymarket, which is like extremely accurate somehow, it's quite amazing. I'm not gonna lie. So there you go, everybody. Thanks again, Michael Anthony and Joseph Levy, and all you guys. Like the show on your way out of here. Come back at 7 a.m. We'll do the show in the morning, a little even more thorough. We'll see exactly what's going on, and I'll catch you guys then. So enjoy the rest of your night, guys. Enjoy your Sunday, and I'll see you guys in the morning.